Hey friends, this is a very different video than I normally do. Here's my husband.
Pastor David here with you.
We are actually in California. If you've been following the channel, you know that I took some time off. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now too. So you're watching this ideally on Monday. It's being broadcast on Monday. That's where you can find me every Monday on The Healthy American. If you can't get enough of what I have to say, then please join me over at Living Swell. And I'm doing broadcast, not necessarily live, but I'm doing broadcast on Living Swell Wednesdays and Fridays. So you can stay in touch with me 3 days a week, and I'll talk a little bit more about that next week on this channel when I'm doing my live, and that is Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to explain what's going on here. We're going to have fun today.
Yeah,
and
a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, and we are in California right now. Many of you know we're native Californians living part-time in Florida, kind of back and forth, coast to coast. And you came up with the topic. That was the scorecard.
That's right. I surprised Peg with a quiz as we were driving to the house here. And the quiz was, she got to answer my questions, Florida or California. Those were the only two answers available. And I put forth a whole host of questions, which she copied down and added to.
So there's a lot. I haven't even counted up how many.
A lot.
And I want, even if you don't live in California or Florida, think about in your state, or the reason we talk about California is because kind of what happens in California might be rolled out to other states. Yes, I've got different glasses. These are sort of sunglasses, but I wanted to be able to see you. And we are looking into the sun here. So it's interesting because north and south is different on the east coast of Florida. So anyhow.
I have to relearn it all next week.
Right now we are in South Orange County, and I would say, and let me ask you, where we live currently in Florida, it's kind of like the South Orange County of Florida.
It's very similar. One small beach town to another small beach town. So very similar.
The reason I bring that up is because it kind of is comparing apples to apples. How do you like them apples? It's not, it's very similar. So where we are in Florida and where we are in California, we can do these comparisons. So I would say there's kind of a similar vibe. All right.
Or so we think.
And these are totally random, not in any particular order. So I didn't do my hair today. We've got baseball caps on, but
because we were at the beach.
We were at the beach. So in terms of like hair salons, nail salons, like I say, these are all random. Which gets the plus?
Barbershops.
What do you think?
I'm going with Florida.
I got to hand it to California. It's a lot less expensive in California, I would say, and there are a lot more salons, and the pricing in Florida is really interesting. If I want to, maybe this is how it is where you are, but if I want to get my hair done here, there's like one price, and in Florida, there's a price for the shampoo and the cut and the blow dry. It's very interesting, and so I got to give it to California.
I'm giving it to Florida. Barbering, much simpler, obviously, and I found a great barber and a great price, and it's definitely cheaper than California.
Yeah. But women's hair and women's nails are more expensive in Florida, which is interesting. All right. Prevalence of Teslas. Where are there more Teslas?
California.
It's unbelievable.
They're everywhere.
It's like every other car we see is like a Tesla. And you and I are probably paying for it. There's another car called Rivian, which is all over here too. Yeah, another electric car. And there's a lot of government subsidies out of your pocket that pay for that. All right. How about, are you ready? And friends, put in the comments what you think you would like us to compare.
Oh, yeah.
Who has better donuts?
Oh, California. Hello.
I think Southern California created the best donut shops that there are, all the Cambodians. And
we made a special trip.
We drove 30 minutes, at least
30 minutes,
half an hour south to
get our favorite donuts.
Go to the best donut shop, and they still remembered us, and they're still working there. Hardworking family.
Hardworking Vietnamese.
Who has better driving skill?
Well, I'll let you go first.
We went back and forth on this one.
We did.
And or what we should say is who has the worst drivers is kind of that too.
Oh, and when we have a part two to this too. So I'm going with worst drivers to California.
Yes,
Hard to
Florida,
believe, I
hard to
know.
believe, but Florida has better drivers. We think it's because of the rains and they're just used to it. Whereas in California, I don't know,
Yeah, it
they're
rains,
not
people
they're
freak
not very
out.
good. But how about driver courtesy? These
Courtesy,
are different. This
separate
is different.
question. California has the most courteous drivers.
Tell me more.
Well, when I let someone in or in my lane or out of a driveway and stop and wait for them, give them the parking place, I want a little wave of acknowledgement. Well, I get that in California. I get it from pedestrians. I let cross the street. I get the wave. I want the wave. Florida,
No wave.
no wave.
No wave.
Mm.
Rarely.
That irritates me.
Okay. Okay, speaking of Florida, now, friends, these are two different categories. There's climate, not climate change. There's climate and there's
Weather.
weather.
Mediterranean, those are
Like
climates.
California is a Mediterranean climate, and
Florida
there's,
is a subtropical climate, whereas weather is
what is it like
happens
day to day?
yeah, month to month, season to season. So
Are
I
we on
believe,
Okay.
so we're going to do climate first. I think Florida actually has a nicer climate in my
I see. I
estimation.
think you changed the definition on me because the weather, like you can have whatever opinion you want. Obviously, I like the weather in Florida. I like the rain. I like the humidity. I like that it's sunny nearly every day. I like the weather. I like the changes in weather that it starts out sunny, then we have rain in the afternoon. So I like the weather, but I prefer the climate
to California,
in California
which is
because we
Mediterranean.
have the four seasons. Believe it or
Sort
not,
of.
we have the four seasons, and maybe you're going to have maybe you guys think that's crazy that I can like the climate in one
one
place
place,
and the weather
weather.
in another. But that's that's kind of what we
Yeah,
were talking
so
about.
obviously we're a little
Yeah.
back and forth on that one.
But we love the humidity. We love the warmth every
The
day.
water,
I'm the kind of person that
greenery.
puts on jeans and a t-shirt if it's under 80 degrees, okay, because I'm so
She
adapted
does.
to it. Okay, how about the condition of the roads?
Go ahead.
California has the absolute worst roads in the entire country, and it's not just my opinion. It is a survey. It's noted.
Agreed,
What?
though. Absolutely. Florida's roads are much better, smoother, cleaner, but we'll get into that later.
But the road conditions in California are pretty bad, and we pay the highest gasoline taxes that are intended to keep those roads in good condition. Speaking of gas, which has better gas stations?
Oh, Florida.
Tell me more.
Well, like the stations, first of all, they've got like 20 pumps in every gas station. They've got a food market slash, cashier that would rival some restaurants in California.
We've eaten at the gas stations
We've
intentionally.
had a meal at a gas station just up the street from our house because we thought, well, let's give it a try, and it's great. And you never have to wait to get. There's no lines, no waiting to get a pump, and of course, well, what do you say about gas stations?
Yeah, the gas
Yeah.
stations in Florida are all that and more. And what about the price of gas?
No comparo. I
I
mean, it's
mean,
$2 a gallon less right now,
yeah,
maybe $3 a
I
gallon
mean, it's
less.
just okay. So we talked about weather, climate, roads. What about schools? Like the quality of the education or just schools?
You want to take this one first?
Um, Let me just say that Florida has no vaccine requirements for schools. End of story.
Not a bad idea. So I would give it to Florida as well for that. How about, I think this was one that you put on the list, condition of the cities. Like who has the most homeless, broken roads,
Well,
broken
each of those are going to be
sidewalks, broken,
separate.
oh,
Yeah.
they're all separate.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
I had one more on the gas stations,
Oh,
if I
okay.
could. Which state are you going to give the thumbs up to better? Speaking of gas stations, which state has the better 7-Elevens?
Florida.
California, in my opinion. They're all over the place here.
Oh, well, as far as
And they're
quantity,
and
absolutely.
they look really nice and new.
I mean, our little town has 3.
Yeah, but they look a little rundown.
Yeah, well, maybe that's
Okay, we'll get to the homeless in a second. This is kind of a no-brainer. Which has better Mexican food?
Well,
California.
California.
We do miss the whole Mexican culture. I mean, like it's just a part of our
we do miss that. We grew up with it. It's such a
upbringing
part of California, especially in the South. But
all the cities are called. I mean, everything
street
is in
names,
Spanish,
city names.
and we do. So along those
we
lines,
do miss that.
which state has better tradespeople that like will come and want to do a good job on working on
And on time,
fixing things and plumbers,
showing up, answering
electricians,
the phone.
gardeners,
I'm gonna have to give
fixing
that to
things.
California.
All day long, friends, all day long. The desire, the industriousness, the working, I don't know, and it's just
California
California.
takes it.
All right. Speaking of Mexican food, which we did a moment ago, which state are you going to give the thumbs up to for restaurants? And that could be anything. It could be the quality of the food. It could be the availability of the restaurants.
Well, if you want to include price in that, I'm going to give it to California. It's close,
I'm going
but
to give it to California. The price of restaurant food in Florida, where we are, which is considered South Florida, you could call it
Greater Palm Beach area. It's expensive.
It's expensive. We're not in the city of Palm Beach, but it's the county and adjacent, and it's expensive. And so, and I also think the restaurant quality, the food is just a lot. It's so innovative in California, and you can have not just Mexican food, but every kind of food.
Now you know why we eat at the gas station in Florida.
We eat at the gas station. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, well, speaking of that, how about let's talk about grocery stores. Who has it? California or Florida? Florida all day long.
All day long.
All day long. First of all, you get bags, okay? I don't know if you haven't been to California lately, but bags are illegal. I'll be doing a video on that. It's the bizarre bag ban.
And they don't cost you a dime.
Here in California,
Literally.
in California, yes. That's what I'm saying.
But in Florida, free.
It's normal. It's natural. In fact, Florida passed what's called a preemptory law that no city, it's illegal for a city to pass a law banning bags or plastic bags or making you pay for a bag. It should be up to the vendor, up to the store. If they want to give you a bag, they have a right to give you a bag. Now, before you start coming at me about the oceans and the turtles and all of that, hey, are you going to put, like I like to swim, am I going to put my wet bathing suit in a paper bag, which is the only bag that's illegal that's legal in California? Am I going to put my leftovers in a paper bag? Am I going to line the bottom of my
kitty cat's box?
The kitty cat box. Hello, plastic bags are there for a reason, and they're much less expensive to make and produce than paper, and they do degrade. Anyway, that'll be a topic for another day.
California doesn't know how to recycle, we were told.
And
by a shopkeeper.
It's much more expensive to recycle, and plastic can only be recycled once or twice before it degrades. It's much less expensive to create a plastic bag, and it's not about that.
What do we do with all our extra plastic bags?
I ship them to California so my sister can use them. So, please, all I want from California. I brought plastic bags with me from Florida. I'm surprised they didn't arrest me coming into California. But I'm telling you, it's not about that. It's about restricting your behavior. What happened about my bag, my choice?
And it's another.
I'm going to make that T-shirt.
It's another example of virtue signaling, too.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, grocery shopping in Florida all day long, clean, friendly, very few self-checkouts. There are people there waiting to bag your groceries in a bag because you paid for those groceries. And that store has a right to give you a bag or not give you a bag. It should not be regulated by the government. That's my soapbox.
Love it.
But what about, so that's grocery stores. We talked about shopping bags. What about shopping in general? Like, what do you think?
Going out shopping
and
for
just stuff, clothes and hats. And
I have
shoes
to give it to Florida.
Tell me more.
Well, there seems to be a little bit wider variety of shops. Like on one street, we shop on somewhat regularly, there's actually a couple of men's stores. Remember, gentlemen, remember men's stores where they had men's clothing instead of a chair in the women's shop where you get to sit while your wife shops? Just, I love that. And there just seems to be a greater variety. And every other store's clothing isn't black and gray.
Okay, we're going to get to that.
Oh, that's another one. That's right.
I got to give shopping to California. I got to put that. Now there's a lot there. It's just more accessible.
Explain
Like within
yourself.
within one area, there's a lot of places, and I feel again that they're a little bit more up to date on the clothing. Although there is a Florida store called, we call it Bial's, but they call it Bell's, even though it's spelled Bealls. Let me know if you know of it. It's a Florida store, great clothing, but I gotta hand it to California on overall shopping. However,
Oh,
what about
asterisk here.
what about Home Goods and TJ Maxx? Who has more, Florida or
Well, I'm going to say Florida. has
Florida?
more
We have
of a-
so many Home Goods right around us. I love it. I love it. All right, what about farmers market? When it comes to farmers markets, California has it all day long.
because
The abundance of fruit, the abundance of produce, it's unbelievable. Everything is available. And this is the best orange. I guess I could put a separate category. The citrus in Florida sadly doesn't exist.
that's a whole nother story.
We bought citrus there,
Very
and
sad.
it's imported from California. Why? Because California has the best citrus. These oranges are like
sad.
candy. And the limes, never had a better lime than I had in in Orange County.
You know, you're right. I
Southern
have to go with you on
California.
that. California.
Farmers markets all day long. Who has, in our opinion,
Our humble
the
opinion.
best bread?
The best bread. That would be
Crystal.
Florida
Oh, all day long.
all day long.
Except if you're talking about
Well,
a
this is-
French bakery.
At least
which,
we haven't found this Cristal bread here. It's
Yeah.
it's Spanish,
and it's so good.
the best
Okay, well, speaking about shopping and
bread.
you mentioned we mentioned clothing. So the style, even though I said I love shopping in California because it's a lot sort of more avant-garde, it happens more in California first. But in terms of people, what they wear, like the style and people's clothing, which
Well, I know what I
you
feel.
tell me what you think.
Florida.
Tell me more.
It has there's more diversity in the clothing, what people wear, and more color and
And people dress better
more
in Florida.
vibrancy. And
They're-
I think people, the level at every level, I think people dress nicer
Yeah.
in Florida on
It's
every basis.
You guys often compliment me on my colors. You know, I wore clothes like this in California. It's not that common, very common in Florida. It just is, maybe because of the weather or something, but people, in my opinion, seem to dress better in Florida.
They do.
Much brighter, nicer. They're not in yoga pants all the
I
time.
was
Not if you like
just
to wear
gonna say
yoga pants.
that.
Nothing wrong if you're
Oh,
wearing them.
don't get me
But, you know, for
started.
out in public all the time. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of that, similar, like the buildings, like the color of the buildings and the style of the buildings. And again, think of, Palm Beach and
architecture.
all of that. But I'm just going to
Mission
dive in
style.
here because
Go ahead,
there's
dive
a
in.
horrible trend in California, maybe even in your
Oh,
town, of
yeah.
painting all the buildings black, which is so
Have you seen
dismal
this?
and it's so communistic and it sucks all the
Black.
life and light out of the building. Southern California, Orange County is Mediterranean. It should be these light colors. It should be, oranges and beiges and yellows and terracotta. And they literally have turned
There's
like,
there's a house down the street here, and both of the sides and between the wood fascia, it's painted black.
and it's
It
just,
just boggles my mind.
I mean,
It's so harsh.
Look at-
and
this is at the high school. This was actually the high school I went to. That's a black, like, building. Why? Why? This is like not very far from the ocean. It should be white and blue and colorful
yeah,
and
it seems to be a
cheerful.
trend out here that we can't figure out.
It's horrible. I mean, look at these. Black building, and at least the sign is white. Here's another one, black building. These are all different. Here's another one. And then they'll have the sign. I guess it's like edgy or something. No, it's just not good. That's a market. Who wants to go to a market that's painted black? So,
That was
anyway,
weird. We haven't figured that one out.
it's very weird. And I got to give it to Florida all day long. Just like the clothing, the houses are painted in aqua and different colors. They're
Yes.
very, very colorful, very
Oh,
bright.
especially the Key West look is very colorful and bright and happy.
Every building is just black.
Okay, that's
Like I thought we were over that. David's like, okay, let's move on. Let's move on. All right, let me get
Moving on.
back to my list. All right, now we'll just what about the laws?
Well, let's see. I guess it depends on if you like a lot of laws or very few laws. But Florida is the land of common sense laws
All day long.
all day
All
long.
day long. What about, okay, we talked about the homeless. How many homeless have you seen in Florida since we've been there a few years?
One.
Yeah, I saw one homeless person, maybe.
Along those lines, how about graffiti?
I've never seen any
None.
graffiti in Florida.
How about litter on the streets and sidewalks?
Not where we are.
None.
Never seen. How about it's been my experience, the treatment or like the county and government taking care of animals
Well, I think I'm going to have to go with Florida on that.
all day long.
Yeah.
They
I
have
mean, we know
better,
some great places here, but they just don't compare with Florida. And the size and the money that
money.
people put into these
Yeah.
facilities, it's fabulous.
yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
very pro animal.
So at least again, where we are, we're not in the Everglades or other
We're not in the
places.
Everglades.
Yeah,
We're not in the swamps.
we're in a more urban kind of, or not
Yeah.
urban, but
Suburban,
this way.
I guess.
This is a hard one. Okay, what about the beaches? Now we'll talk about
It's a tough
the
one.
water, we'll talk about surfing, we'll talk about sand, and we'll talk about the beach because there's different qualities.
Well, there's the beach itself, the sand, there's the water
Yeah.
and what goes on in the water. And there is, well,
Okay. Surfing,
surfing, California.
California,
I
all day
mean,
long.
all
all day long.
Florida
all day
just
long.
can't compare. It doesn't compare.
Yeah. Clarity of the water.
Florida,
Florida, color of the water.
Florida,
Temperature of the water.
Florida. Let's see. Today it was 65-ish here, and back
It's
home in
about
Florida is 80.
Yeah.
And aqua
So you
blue
can go in the water all year
all
round.
year round. No
Now,
wetsuit.
What about the sand on the beaches? Now, we're not
Florida.
on the Gulf,
We're not on the Gulf.
so I'm back and forth because
But there's
they-
more sand in Florida.
they do cart in sand to Florida, just like they do in California. They call it beach replenishment. And so it's kind of hit or miss. There are some beaches where the sand is really nice and some where it's a little more like it came from somebody's backyard or something. Some have more
Like here.
rocks than others. So
This is very rocky.
I can't give it a clear indication on that, but surfing definitely California. How about like the views of like when you're driving around California or Florida? I mean,
California.
yeah, because you have hills and
Hills, mountains,
hills,
curves.
mountains. I mean, it is spectacular. It's just incomparable in my opinion. There's no state or
Yeah.
other place. I mean,
California's
we are
beautiful.
Californians, but the beauty is unparalleled. However, Florida is gorgeous.
Oh,
and it's
lush
lush.
and green and
It's green year round. It's tropical, where California,
sweetie,
has its.
it's subtropical
Does that mean more tropical
or less
because it's
tropical.
below?
I don't know.
How about, okay, speaking of water, how about drinking water?
Drinking water.
I got to give it to California. We often have, well, we treat our water, but
I'm
we often.
gonna go with California also, just out of the tap.
Now, how about, okay, let's stick with sort of that theme. How about the skies?
No question, Florida
I got
all
one
day
word
long.
for you. It's called Florida.
It's called
blue skies,
puffy
white
white
clouds.
every day.
It's
pretty
just
much,
stunning.
except when it's raining.
It's stunning.
Stunning, and
Stunning,
when the storms come in, it's stunning.
Now, interestingly, now this is different. This is the quality of the sunlight. Like which state are you more likely to get sunburned and feel scorched?
Well, I know what it is for me.
Yeah, tell me.
California.
California, the sun is like
I mean,
brutal.
right? Florida's
I
the
don't know.
sunshine state, right? But the light and the heat, because we know Florida is warm, but somehow maybe the moisture in
It's
the air,
crazy.
it filters it, or it just your
It's just
skin
not as
stays
harsh.
softer. It's not as
We've
harsh.
never been sunburned
Never had a
in
sunburn in
Florida.
Florida.
We're out all day long. And in California, I'm like, oh my man, I got to get out of the sun. It's scorching somehow.
It must be the humidity or the dew point or something
Or
like
the
that.
chemtrails. Okay. But it's crazy. The sun in Florida, even though it's warm all the time, it's not, it's like softer. It's pleasant.
Yeah.
That's our experience. All right.
That is our experience.
How about
You definitely
like the
got one
thriving economy? Like where is it on the up and up? Florida,
Since we
I'm just
are-
going to answer.
Since we are entrepreneurs in particular, I have to give it to Florida. It's just, here's what we say. We say this all the time. Please don't take offense because we are Californians at heart, born and bred here, but Florida is for you and California ain't.
Florida's
They
for ya.
make it as easy as possible to start a business, make that business thrive, get rid of red tape, and they make it easy for you. They want you to have a business. They want you to succeed, and they want you to grow the economy. It's so pro-business and pro-entrepreneur.
Well, that was my next one, was the business climate.
Oh.
But the economy itself is booming in Florida. I mean, businesses are leaving New York, the financial district, they're all going to Miami. And everywhere we go, again, this is our experience and our little, I realize this may not be the same if you're in another place in Florida,
Or California.
but I'm talking about, yeah, but we've seen what's going on in California. Things are in the decline, and they're, businesses out of business and things that are not taken care
Moving
of.
to Florida.
So Florida, the economy is booming. It's like a boom town there. And there are
Boom
new
state.
things happening all the time. So it's a lot of energy and vibrancy.
Very positive
And then
vibe.
definitely the business climate for business owners is pro-business. And California, it's communist. So they don't want you to own a business. They don't want you to own property. It's all about
don't like
renting
landlords
cars,
here.
renting places, renting your clothes. I mean, it's just they don't want that. Okay. This I threw on the list. Where we are here or where we are in Florida, which is more like family oriented, family friendly?
I'm going to go with Florida on that.
Well, that's interesting because I'm going with California. Being here, there's kids running around everywhere, and it's a very young vibe. And where we are, you've always said you just don't see the young people.
Well, that's specific to us, but I was thinking of what is family friendly, and I'm thinking about,
Don't you love how I give him his opinion?
yeah, gentlemen who are married. Do you
We've
understand
been married
that,
a
don't
long
you?
time. That's okay. I can give him my opinion, and
But
I
I
can give him
can't give
his
her
opinion.
my opinion.
But it's just funny because just the other day you said, "Oh man, there's so many kids and there's so much vibrancy. I don't see this many young people where we are." I mean, we're young in Florida.
But definitely there is a younger vibe here and younger people. We see many, many more younger people, but you
That's
said
what I meant.
family friendly.
That I meant
So I'm not
family
sure how-
oriented is what I
Yeah.
meant.
Then, this seems to be a more youthful
Yeah.
society in Southern California for sure.
Okay. Which state has better airports? And I'm going to give you the airports: LA and Orange County compared to Palm Beach and Miami. And I know you haven't been to Miami in a while, but
I'm going to have to go with Florida.
Florida all day long, all day long. So even in Miami, huge, like
Huge airport.
huge airport, but you can drive right up. You can wait for the person to get out of the plane. Now, maybe this is the same where you are, but not in LAX, not even in Orange County. And you walk right out and everything's hunky-dory. So airports all day long. And by the way, we already talked about, we don't do all that biometric stuff. I've
No.
done lots of videos for
We
you on
opt
that.
out.
Okay, politics.
Well, I guess it depends on your political bent, but for us, it is Florida all day long.
Well, sweetie, you're talking to healthy Americans.
Well,
you can speak
that's
freely.
right. We can speak. Well, it's conservative,
Florida.
Florida. It is
Common sense.
common sense. It's again, the political structure, not that it's perfect, still they seem to be keep doing things to help the people that live in their state, right? DeSantis right now is working on reducing the amount of property tax we pay.
That was my next topic.
That's huge, folks. I mean,
Okay,
another tax going away or lessening, not a new tax or more tax.
which state has higher property taxes? Or are
I
they
think
about
the
same?
rate is virtually the
Virtually
same,
the same. Okay.
but since property, square foot per square foot is a little bit less expensive in Florida, you do end up paying less property tax for the same number of square feet in the same type of zip code, I would say. So still a
I
net
didn't quite
savings.
understand it, but I will take your word
net
for
savings.
it. Okay, how about car insurance, which is more expensive?
Ooh, Florida.
Florida more expensive. Homeowners insurance.
Well, I'm going to say typically it's more expensive in Florida, unless in California you live in a fire zone, or so-called, in which case it is really expensive if you can get it, which is becoming increasingly difficult.
Yeah. Okay. I'm throwing a couple out at you. Which do you think has better? I don't know if this is better is the right word. Where do you put churches in the category? California or Florida for churches?
Well, I'd say in Florida there's one on every corner, basically. So the prevalency of churches, although our area in South Orange County has a lot of churches, but Florida,
Which has more traditional churches?
Florida,
Florida.
for
California
sure.
is all the mega church, the
Or the
liberal church,
non-denominational, which
so,
still exists in Florida, but
yeah.
you have a lot more of the traditional church
Okay.
groups.
All right. You guys let us know if we missed anything. I've got a couple more. This is a no-brainer. In which state do you feel more free?
Florida,
Florida.
all day long.
All right. Which state? Okay, we're gonna talk about mosquitoes.
I know what you're thinking.
You go ahead.
You're thinking, well, Florida, of course, right?
Meaning, no, describe what you mean by that.
Well, Florida is known or has a reputation for being buggy. I mean, people told us, oh, you're going to hate Florida. There's too many bugs and it's hot and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure there are parts of Florida, like in the Everglades, in the
Orlando.
swamps, where there are lots of bugs. But if you're in a coastal zone, I'm going to say, at least in terms of mosquitoes, there's more in California.
There's more mosquitoes in California. I'm just going to say it, and I know because I've experienced it. Just being here I'm like, oh, I can't believe these mosquitoes
That's crazy,
here.
huh?
We just don't have a problem with mosquitoes in Florida. Now, that's going to dovetail because many of you are emailing me about the mosquito program through Google, and I'm going to cover that next week.
Oh, okay.
And that is
better
going to
tune in.
be about these modified male mosquitoes that are supposed to mate with
Oh, so they
females
sterilize
because
them.
only the females bite, and then people are concerned about that. So we'll talk about the mosquitoes
females
next
bite.
time. So who knows? Maybe they did something in Florida to get rid of mosquitoes, but I've never had a problem at all. Rarely have had a problem with mosquitoes. Friends, let us know if we missed anything. So glad you stayed until the end. This was a lot of fun.
It was
and
fun.
Just lighthearted, taking a break from the headlines.
Yeah, vacation.
And this time off has actually helped me refine my strategy for YouTube. And I love my Healthy American audience. I love getting together, sharing our perspectives, validating each other for things that we were like, that doesn't seem right, or kind of clearing the air like we did here.
And despite what it may seem like, given all of my answers, I love California. I love the town I grew up in, the county I grew up in, the view I grew up with. There's a lot to love
Yeah,
here.
we love it, which is why we're kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
And where I was going with that is that I'm going to be broadcasting on Mondays. I mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast, and if you hopped on later, so that will be Mondays for you to join me, and we're going to talk about everything, all the stuff, all the things. And it's going to be interactive. I'm going to be looking at your comments, and I will have kind of a roundup of what you wanted me to talk about. We're going to be talking about data centers. We're going to be talking about the mosquitoes, and I will be sort of guiding those discussions and everything every week so we can kind of clear the air, have our say, and then ideally get on with your life. And because there's so much living to do. And the bad guys win if we are stuck on YouTube day after day after day after day. And I will always be here for you, and I'm not going anywhere. And if, heaven forbid, there is another sort of forced vaccination program or whatever the bad guys want to do, I will be here for you every step of the way, just like I was since 2020, helping you keep your business open, helping you breathe oxygen, helping you keep your job without the jab, helping nursing students go through their programs, helping young adults go to college, helping people travel, helping legal immigrants get their status. We do all of that. I'm not going away, but I am going to be broadcasting every Monday. And so many of you told me that you couldn't keep up with all of the content I was doing, and you have missed things, and you're emailing me asking, or you're sending me things like, hey, did you hear about this? And I'm like, I already covered that video 3 times. So this way you'll know to tune in on Mondays. We'll have a great time, and I'll see you on the Living Swell channel.
And I will be letting you know what I'm doing as soon as she gives me my opinion about it. But until then, thank you so much for joining us. It was a lot of fun. Hope you had fun too.
This was a complete sort of departure from our usual. And since we were on a little vacation, we thought it would be a fun way to do that. So look forward to seeing you next week. Remember, there's the Substack. It's free, peggyhall.substack.com. That's a good way to stay in touch as well. And also support at the healthyamerican.org. All right. See you soon, everybody.
Thanks. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.